right, we will go ahead and continue with Ian Book. Ian, your first question is from Patrick Engel.
Hey, Ian, it seemed like you guys came out in the first few drives wanting to try to throw the ball more and get downfield a little bit. How much was that an emphasis leading into the game and just kind of pregame?
Yeah, it was a big emphasis. We talked about it all week. Um, it's not that we didn't want to go out there and run the ball, but we wanted, we saw some opportunities in the passing game. We wanted to go out there and do that early. And, we were able to convert a lot of those. And we just need to be able to finish those drives. We took ourselves down the field, and we just got to finish.
We'll go next to Tyler James.
Hey, Ian, I'm curious, what kind of defensive looks was Louisville doing that maybe made it a challenge for you to kind of figure out what was going on and find receivers open when you were looking for them?
Yeah. They do a lot of movement up front, which was, great. I thought our line did a great job. And then in the secondary, they play a lot of cloud. They're doing a lot of field cloud and boundary cloud with the drop end, and that's what we prepared for all week. They do a good job at that. That's what they've been doing. And, we had, a great install for that, and we were able to do some of that tonight.
We'll go next to Chris Heidel.
Hi, Ian. Thanks for taking some time this evening. I was looking at your stats through the last couple games. You haven't thrown a pick since the Duke game. Is this something that you've been working on throughout the whole year to get better? Not throwing those mistakes. Like last. I know last year you had a tough season, but is that something you're working on?
Always. I never want to throw an interception, ever, and I don't even think about it, which is great. But it's something I work on. I pride myself on. I don't want to turn the ball over. That's what loses games. And as a quarterback, I get the ball every play. It's on me to spread the ball around the field and be smart with it. So something I definitely work on and practice every week.
We'll go next to Pete Sampson.
Ian, on the field, you mentioned this is the windiest game you've ever played in. How did that sort of impact, your job today and what you're looking for, what kind of shots you felt like you could take?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty windy. There's no doubt. But at the end of the day, Coach Reese came up to me and said, we're going to do what we're doing. And I know you can throw in the wind. We did it all week. And, we came out hot with some passing game, and that's what we did. And, we didn't, feel the wind and say, okay, we're done throwing. The run game was working. It's been unbelievable this whole entire year, and that's what it's about. And just to be able to go out there and do that and get a win feels amazing. Winning's really hard. So, again, at the end of the day, when we get a W, that's what we want.
And we'll go next to Eric Hansen.
Ian, I got a two-parter. One, when you evaluate your own game, are you a real tough critic or do you try to look for positives? The second part of that is, how would you evaluate your performance today?
First part of the question, probably a little bit of both. I'm definitely hard on myself, but, at the end of the day, like I just said, my job is to go out there, and at the end of the day, we can get that W. And we've been able to do that this whole entire year. Tomorrow when I go meet with Coach Reese, I'm going to be hard on myself. I am every week. There's never a week where, I played a perfect game, and that's what the quarterback position's about. And second part of the question tonight, I thought I started a little bit slow. Wanted to get pick my energy up. I was able to do that in the second half. Just want to rally the guys. That's my job. And I feel like I was able to pick myself up and the guys around me. We got our energy going, and we knew we could go out there. And one thing about this team is there was never any doubt, and I could see that from the time we started to halftime to the end of the game. This team fights, and that's one thing we definitely saw tonight, and we don't give up.
We'll go next to Tim O'Malley.
Ian, on the 13-yard touchdown run for the go-ahead, it looked like after you came off your first couple reads that you knew that would be vacated. Was that actually part of the design when there was a vacated field side for you to go to, or was that just a scramble idea?
Yeah, it was a pure progression. It was going all the way through my reads. They did a good job of, passing all those routes off. We had everything going into one zone, and all those guys, went over to the boundary side, and I saw a big gap. Knew I had to go get the first, and was able to make a guy miss and get the touchdown.
And we'll wrap it up with George Bashura.
Hey, Ian. You kind of got the sports announcer jinx this afternoon. They were talking about how the offensive line had not allowed any sacks and then you ended up with 3. Nothing ever good comes out of a sack, but what could you learn from it?
We must have jinxed it. Our O-line, I said it last week. I'm not changing what I said. Our O-line's unbelievable. I trust all of them. They've all played a lot of snaps. They're just fun to be out there with. Louisville threw some new looks at us. They did a good job with some movement, and they had a good D-line, and they were able to get home a couple times. It might look like, maybe one of the O-linemen missed. Maybe I should have got the ball out. Got to go watch the film. Shouldn't blame anybody for that. But again, I love my O-line. They're unbelievable, and we'll learn from it. And we'll move on. Get ready for next week.